best solo MCU movie ever. I will not hear any arguments. Captain America the Winter Soldier was released in 2014, directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, and it starred Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Samuel L. Jackson, and Robert Redford. And yeah, all these years later, I still absolutely love this movie. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into this movie. Starting off with the good, there is so much to love here. All the characters are absolutely fantastic. Chris Evans returns as Captain America, and he is still just as great as he ever has been. I love the arc that he's given in this movie, learning who he should or should not trust, gaining his trust issues that bleed over into future movies that he appears in. I really love what they did. Just everything about Captain America's arc in this movie, really well handled. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Now, she appeared in MCU movies before this one, but I have not reviewed those ones yet. But I think this is probably her best performance as Black Widow. I think that she's got a really interesting arc herself. She's been given some pretty good arcs throughout the MCU, but this is probably her best arc. I thought that she had really great chemistry with Chris Evans. Yeah, I really enjoyed what they did with her character here, as well as what they did with Captain America. Really great performance from Scarlett Johansson. Then you got a new hero here. You got Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, who eventually becomes the Falcon in this movie. I really love Sam Wilson. I think that he is a great character. I think Anthony Mackie is just absolutely charming and charismatic in the role. Great banner with Chris Evans. Really fun introduction to this character. I love what they did with Sam here. Then the final hero I want to talk about, you have Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. And again, another character that has appeared in movies before this that just haven't gotten reviewed yet. I love Samuel L. Jackson as an actor. He's absolutely one of my favorites. And his casting as Nick Fury is absolutely one of the greatest of all time. No arguments from me. This movie really proves it. This is easily his best performance as Nick Fury. Him learning not to trust anybody in S.H.I.E.L.D., only having a very small, tight-knit circle that he wants to trust. Absolutely fantastic character arc for him. And honestly, had he never appeared in the MCU ever again after this, this would have been a fantastic send-off to his character. But alas, he did come back, and I'm grateful he came back because, again, I love Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. I thought he did a fantastic job here. Then we get down to the villains of this movie. And technically there's four. First of all, you got the titular Winter Soldier played by Sebastian Stan. And he's just absolutely fantastic. This is really the only movie where they treated Winter Soldier as a villain. Everything else, he's been either an anti-hero or a straight-up hero. I'm fine with that, don't get me wrong. But I really loved Winter Soldier as a villain. I love the whole Terminator aspect that he's got, where he's just an absolute soulless killing machine. I love what he does with this character. Absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite villain performances in the MCU. Then you got the other physical villain, and that is Brock Rumlow, played by Frank Grillo. And Frank Grillo is a very underrated actor. I love how him and Gerard Butler are just single-handedly keeping the B-movie action genre alive. But I really liked him as Brock Rumlow. I wish they did more with him in future movies, but that's neither here nor there, and we will get to that when we get to that. But I really, really loved Brock Rumlow. I thought he was a badass. I thought that he was very menacing when he's on screen. Really liked him. Then you get the man pulling the strings, and that's Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford. And this is honestly easily top 10 MCU villains for me. A lot of people, when they think of this movie, they think, oh, the Winter Soldier's the main villain. No, you got Alexander Pierce is actually the main villain. And the way he just manipulates everything in this movie, just absolutely masterclass performance from Robert Redford. I love all the twists and all the reveals we get about this guy. Just absolute scum of the earth, scumbag character. But again, Robert Redford just absolutely nails it. I love Alexander Pierce. I love what Robert Redford does. And then you got a technical fourth villain in this movie, even though he's only in it for a couple minutes. You got Toby Jones returning as Arnim Zola. Now, obviously, Arnim Zola has been long dead by this point in the MCU, but his consciousness still lives in a SHIELD computer database. And we were so close to getting classic Arnim Zola with the robot suit, and we just never did. But I love the one scene Arnim Zola has in this movie. It's an absolutely tense scene where we get the full reveal that SHIELD has been compromised by Hydra. It's been compromised since the 60s. And I just love Toby Jones's vocal performance. It's very menacing. It's very, very, very well crafted. Just an absolutely terrific sequence. So yeah, I just had to give a shout out to Arnim Zola in this movie. Very limited screen time, but Toby Jones ate it up and left no crumbs, no notes. Now, the story here is really great. You got a really tense political thriller. SHIELD has been compromised by Hydra. It's up to Captain America and Black Widow and Falcon to figure out who's at the head of what Hydra has become. They think Nick Fury is dead, so they're on their own. It's a really tense political thriller. I love political thrillers, and this is easily top 5 political thrillers for me. I just love everything they do with this movie. The action sequences are probably the best action sequences in the entire MCU. And this is coming from a cinematic universe that has fantastic action sequence after fantastic action sequence, for the most part. But this movie easily has my favorite action sequences of the entire MCU. Captain America's elevator fight, the opening fight on the cargo ship, the whole finale with the 3 helicarriers just taking each other out. Just absolutely thrilling beginning to end. I just absolutely love this movie. The score really elevates it as well. There's a lot of great moments that are elevated by the score. Captain America's speech in the 3rd act. Oh, that speech made me want to get up and salute the flag and play some football. I'm exaggerating there, but I really loved that whole speech. Absolutely fantastic. That's about all for the good. There's nothing bad about this movie. So, on to the final thoughts. I absolutely love this movie. Like I said, it's my absolute favorite solo MCU movie. I don't count the Guardians movies as solo movies, so this movie is second place only to the Guardians trilogy. But Captain America: The Winter Soldier is an absolutely fantastic movie. It's thrilling from beginning to end. Great performances, great character arcs, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.